Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the People's Champion, Danielle Lee, Global Vice President, Partner Solutions at Spotify.
Contribute, shape culture, challenge the status quo. The opportunities are boundless, and there really isn't one answer to the question, what role do brands play in society? I'm excited to explore this topic with you today. And I'll start with a little confession. We don't have it all figured out at Spotify. In many respects, we're just getting started. And I want to talk to you about the work that we're doing that represents a step forward, work that we've learned a great deal from, and work that I hope will serve as inspiration and challenge you to reimagine the role that your brand can play in society. And we'll start with a body of work that I'm especially proud of. It demonstrates our vision for a more open and inclusive creative ecosystem, where we amplified a broader set of voices by inviting them to shape the program. It's called Black History is Happening Now. And it was born from a real consumer insight. We were witnessing an ongoing shift in the cultural landscape, from Moonlight's historic night at the Oscars to Marvel's Black Panther's dominance in the box office, to Kendrick Lamar's monumental Pulitzer Prize for his album Damn. Social media was abuzz, acknowledging that we're witnessing history in the making. But the ugly truth is that many people of color, particularly in the creative community, are frustrated. They're frustrated that their talents often go overlooked and unrecognized. And when props are given, it's largely reserved to Black History Month, the shortest month of the year. And when we looked in the mirror, and when we were honest with ourselves, we realized we're not doing much better. And what served as that reflection for us and what really pulled out that consumer insight was our Black Employee Resource Group, the people that are in the community. They raised the concern, and they saw that we had an opportunity to amplify and support Black creators to a greater extent. So we asked the question, how can Spotify leverage its platform as a vehicle to amplify artists and creators of color to share their stories and their inspiration? So Black History is Now was built to shine a light, to amplify this community of creators all year long. And we wanted to challenge the construct of Black History Month. We wanted to celebrate Black history and culture because we know that it doesn't end with the month of February. Truth be told, we celebrate us all year long. So we had to make a difference. We invited the community in. We opened up the platform to a broader set of artists and creators to lend their voice to the platform. We involved iconic artists, and that was an important element because we needed to hear from them. We wanted them to curate the experience, to give it that authentic voice. So who better to launch with than Miss Janelle Monáe, singer, songwriter, actress. She's an activist and a cultural powerhouse, an icon in both the Black and LGBTQ communities. She worked with us to create playlists that featured legends in the industry that have influenced her work, emerging artists that she seeks inspiration from today. And she also shot a short documentary with us around what Afrofuturism means to her. Pharrell Williams curated the second installment of The Hub. And I'd love for you to hear what he has to say about Black history.
The one thing that you cannot deny is that this country was built by the hands of many different cultures, but mainly the African Americans, because they were the ones that were put to task to go out and actually do the work. And all the while having to endure the pillaging of where they were from, identities taken from them, and forced to do things that they didn't want to do. Far from a choice.
Our influence is everywhere. In clothing, music, there would be no rock and roll without us. Like, we've been here. Black now is America. Black future is America. Black history is America.
Powerful. Celebrating Black history all year long, that alone is a statement. But we didn't stop there. The second portion of the program was reaching a particularly underserved group, Black female creatives. We launched a program called Sound Up Boot Camp, inviting aspiring female podcasters of color specifically, to apply to a week-long training session where they would learn the craft of podcasting. They'd experience a full week, an immersive session in New York City, led by leading podcasters and instructors, to really get the tools and the techniques. We received over 18,000 applications for only 10 slots. Talk about an underserved need. At the end of the week, they each got to pitch their ideas for a podcast, and we selected 3 that Spotify would fund pilots for. We're taking this program on the road. We're going to the UK in November, and we'll lead a week-long of workshops there. And we're really excited about inviting these new voices to shape our content, to tell stories that have been unheard on the platform. So the final element of the program is a piece that I'm particularly passionate about. We created a fellowship, an opportunity for one person to join our shows and editorial team at Spotify. And the position was given to a young woman named Jessica Bain, the one and only. Let me tell you about Miss Jessica. So this young woman used social media to make her application go viral. She used Twitter specifically and tweeted, "Hey, at Spotify Jobs, I hear you're looking for a Black History and Culture Fellow. So this is me shooting my best shot. Retweet to help them see this." And boy, did we see it. Her website featured custom art and demonstrated her own curation skills. It was basically a resume and playlist form. The internet wanted to see her win. And when she got the job, she announced it to the world. This post got nearly 200,000 likes and over 20,000 retweets. We're so delighted to have Jessica on the team. She's doing amazing work shaping the future of the Black History is Happening Now program and working on other programs like RISE, our artist development program. So congratulations to Jessica. The thing that I love about this in particular is it's not about, oh, my dad knows the CMO or the CEO. We're really democratizing the platform and giving other people an opportunity. So what have we learned? Well, a couple things. One, employee resource groups can and should have a real impact on the business and the brand. They're not just an HR function to check or a group to support the internal culture. Yes, they do that. That's great. But we should be leveraging them in a more holistic way to really drive impact into our business and really understand the consumer insights in full context. 2, inviting other voices to shape the Spotify experience is powerful. So we want to do more of that. The notion of creating a more open and inclusive creative ecosystem applies to both the brand and artist community as well. And it directly supports our company mission. Our mission is to unlock the potential of human creativity by giving 1 million creative artists the opportunity to live off of their art and billions of fans the opportunity to enjoy and be inspired by it. The Spotify for Artists team is making that goal a reality. We launched an app specific to artists. It empowers them to manage their profiles, track streams, and now they can even submit their music to our music curators to be featured in our editorial playlists. Playlists that have been known to break new artists and help them find new audiences. This app also gives them insight into who their audience is, the cities they live in, age and gender demographics. And this information really helps them, inform business decisions, tour stops, communication strategies. We've also built guides to help them maximize the use of these tools. And we featured real artists who've had success on the platform to provide these tips and tricks. So let's take a look at the new series, The Game Plan.
You ready?
This is The Game Plan. You've got some questions about how Spotify really works and how you can get the most out of it. Don't sweat it. We've got industry legends, Spotify insiders, and artists that you love to break it down for you.
There's no rule book to it at this point.
It's really all about the music.
It's time to do every thing you can. Go every where you can.
Get the inside scoop on Spotify for Artists to help you and your team get the most out of Spotify.
That's kind of cool.
We've got answers to all your burning questions, like how to get verified, tools to promote your work, when to time your releases, tips to build out your team, and much, much more.
It's about hustle. You have to be the hardest working member of the team.
Get the word out. Let people know that you're doing it.
Doesn't matter if you're just getting started or about to go platinum. We got you covered. Sound good? I thought so.
This is The Game Plan.
So just as we're building out a broader set of tools to support artists, we're also building out a broader set of tools to help brands of all sizes. So Spotify for Brands is our self-serve audio platform. It allows brands of all sizes to create an audio campaign in minutes. They submit a script, they select a track, and we deliver to them an ad fully completed with a voiceover. And it makes it easy to not only create that ad, but then to track the performance, to select your target audience. And if you already have an existing audio ad, you can just upload that to the platform. So these are two examples that really show how we're democratizing the platform and giving everyone, brands and artists of all sizes, the opportunity to build their brands and drive their business. So the next thing I want to talk about is when we get those two things right, we actually have the opportunity to create memorable experiences for our fans. So this next program is called Fans First. Fans First rewards the superfans. So you might ask, well, how do you find the superfans? We use our streaming intelligence. We identify the top 1% of listeners for a specific artist in a specific region. And we apply our data to really invite them to a show or an experience. And each experience is different depending on what the artist wants to do. So this is an example of the Ginger Ed making session that we ran in New York City featuring one of our favorite gingers, Ed Sheeran. This was a super fun experience that we delivered to 20 fans. But we don't just do this for the Ed Sheerans of the world. We also do it for, and mostly do it for emerging artists, reaching a whole new set of consumers that may not get the chance. Artists like Matoma, Middle Kids, and Shallow. So here we're really writing new rules and breaking down the barriers that have existed in the music industry, supporting a broader set of creators. I want to talk about Matoma's event. Matoma's an artist that has more vibey dance pop music. And we used our data to find his top 100 fans in Chicago. And then we invited them to an exclusive first listen of his album. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's the way that we're living. We've been holding it down, 'cause we are one in a million. Yeah, ain't no way we're giving in. Love is stronger than bones. We've been lost in the storm. They say we're never gonna make it, but we made it here where there's no gravity. We know we're not coming down safe. Yeah, it's the way that we're living. We've been holding it down, 'cause we are one in a million. It's the way that we're living. We've been holding it down, 'cause we are one in a million. Yeah, ain't no way we're giving in. Love is stronger than bones. We've been lost in the storm. They say we're never gonna make it, but we made it here where there's no gravity. We know we're not coming down safe. Yeah, it's the way that we're living. We've been holding it down, 'cause we are one in a million.
So much fun. We're giving brands the opportunity to be part of these events. BMW actually sponsored Matoma's event in Chicago. It was a key market for them and one of his top listening cities. And this gives brands the opportunity to build that brand love and be part of these memorable experiences, be part of those special moments. And marketers see great value in that. So helping brands become become good citizens to the creative ecosystem and the industry, we found that to be of great value. So there's a few things that we're doing here. We're using data and technology to create these new experiences and challenge us to write new rules. We're equipping artists, creators, brands, and fans with the tools they need to share their stories and be inspired. And really, the place that we want to live in the world. The unique assets that we're leveraging and the unique resources that we have, access to creators, immense levels of data, trust with our consumers, the ability to shape culture. This is the things that we're leveraging to create the world that we want to live in. So, now for the challenge. I want to challenge you to take stock of the unique assets and resources that you have. What can you bring to the table? What impact will your brand have on the world? But more importantly, what are you willing to risk to make the difference? What are you willing to disrupt within your existing business or industry? Let's explore how different brands with different goals can shape society in meaningful, memorable, and impactful ways. Thank you.